Welcome back, fellow Dream Warriors, to Riderpiece Theater. Me, Alistair Dayhawk, and tonight, me proud to present Kamen Rider Zeztz, Episode 10. So, our epic tale begins with our beloved Dream Warrior / Dream Master, whichever you prefer. Baku is visiting a man named Atsumi Taro. And instead of his usual, spy attire, and remember, this is in Dreamland, he comes in and introduces himself as a housekeeper. Hey, my name is Seven, the housekeeper. And why is he visiting, this man's house as a housekeeper for? Well, apparently, today's mission is all about finding the national secret, whatever that means. And so it has to do with, the painting that Taro has in his living room, I believe. And he is very obsessed with that painting. Like, he will never take his eyes off it. It's his own personal treasure. And so Baku has been sent to, clean the house and whatnot. And Taro told him, hey, start cleaning the living room and work your way up and that sort of thing. And lo and behold, as he was trying to clean the living room, as he is trying to find what the hell is this natural secret, he spots our beloved Nem dressed up as a mannequin for the week. And a antique mannequin, as she said. And then all of a sudden the painting gets stolen, and Taro panics and he's like, hey, my painting is stolen. We have to get it back or else the secret's gonna get exposed. And we have the dun dun dun. And then we go to the next scene after the opening credits. You see Baku using his Zeztz detector, and he spots some weird looking trail, look like sand or dirt, whatever. It left a trail. And so Baku and then follows the trail to Nox. And you would think that, hey, wait a minute, Nox has stolen a painting? Really? You Freddy Krueger-ish, you? Why are you after a painting? So Nox shoots at them, and Baku demands the recovery capsule to be returned to him. But I like Nox's response by saying, why would I give it to you? You don't need it. You don't need it anymore. It's like, I don't have to give it to you. And so Baku was like, okay, well, why do you need my capsule for? What is it that you're up to? And he didn't respond to Baku. I don't owe any explanation as to why I'm in need of using the recovery capsule for, which I assume he's gonna repair his long sword / gun, because even though, it could shoot, you see this burnt area that needs to be repaired, so I'm assuming that he wants to use it to repair his sword so he can transform into, Nox Rider, Kamen Rider Nox, whatever. But then again, I also believe that he is going to use it to heal Nem in the real world, to wake up from her coma. But I don't know if he's willing to do that, because I strongly believe that Nem is strongly connected to the nightmares, because she is, she's not making them willingly. Of course, she's in a coma, but I don't know. I just believe that Nem and the nightmares are connected somehow, because why would these strange butterflies are flying around her as it's their mistress and everything. But in any case, he's not going to reveal why he's in need of the capsule. Instead, Nox is warning Baku that if you proceed with this mission any further, it's gonna destroy you. And then we get to see Nox shooting Baku, which causes him to wake up from his dream. So in the next scene, Baku wakes up, and we have, Mulder and Scully in the spy room, where they are investigating two cases involving paintings getting stolen. And you see in the videotapes that some kind of ghost is like taking some paintings and just taking them away. It's like, it's weird because like a ghost, you grab something and you just take it away, and you don't see anybody taking it at all. It's like a ghost. And so what they discovered is that these stolen paintings have these weird looking flowers. And so also just in the dream, the painting that got stolen also have that specific flower. So secret flowers. I wonder what they are. And so Scully, she was like, who cares about these dreams? Like, we should focus on things in the real world. But Baku is telling Scully it's not the case, because look what happened to the headquarters of your, the police headquarters down in Tokyo. It exploded, and it's all because of a nightmare. And he has to tell her, look, if we don't stop the nightmare in the dream space, the nightmare is going to take control of the dreamer, and it's going to cause chaos in the real world. Look what happened to your headquarters. So, yeah. And Scully, I understand where she's coming from. She's trying to be, you could say, the same one in the group. But, it's impossible when these black cases, Baku's ability to enter people's dreams and defeat nightmares is actually a real thing. So, yeah, Scully, I know you're trying to be the sane one, but these things are real, so you're going to have to accept it. And you're working with Mulder here, who is really obsessed with black cases, especially, what happened with his partner, which, it looks like Nox, and yeah, it's kind of obvious what's going to happen later on with him. In any case, so we go to, Mulder, speaking of Mulder, because he has his moments, right? And after Baku and Scully have their, discussion about, the reminder and all that stuff, like I mentioned earlier, Mulder was like, hey, I think I solved the case. I think that's his catchphrase. Like, every time, we get, Baku, Scully gets information, you have Mulder be like, I think I've solved the case. I think I solved the case, guys, which ultimately by the end of the episode, you realize that you haven't solved crap. Like, you would think that by now it's like we should wait for more information before you claim that you solved the case. But yeah, so he does that, oh, I solved the case, and he points out the obvious. The dreamer is someone who wants the secret to be hidden in the painting. It all falls into PSB jurisdiction. Wow. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Wow. So, Mulder and Scully do their investigation, while Baku's like, okay, I can't do any investigations in the daytime. I have to wait until it's nighttime for me to venture off in the dream space. But then you have Zero, the Autobot. He shows up right after Mulder and Scully jumps out from the window. Again, they don't know the meaning of a door, but I understand why they're using the window, because they're afraid they might stumble across Minami, and it's gonna be another shit show altogether. So they're trying to avoid that confrontation, but eventually Mulder and Scully and Baku will have to let Minami know about what they're doing. They have to eventually, but not now. So Zero comes in and tells Baku, hey, you don't need to wait until it's nighttime and for you to fall asleep in order to get your investigation in and whatnot. You can do stuff in the daytime. And this is where we have this funny scene where he is dressed up as quote-unquote Mario. And the reason you may ask, like, why are you saying that he's dressed up as Mario when he doesn't look like Mario at all? It's just the mustache. It's just the mustache. Like, oh, great. Wow, he's a master of disguise, that Baku is. But in any case, he's dressed up in disguise as a painter, as an artist, and he's talking to some art dealer, and that's how the scene ends. And so, meanwhile, we have Mulder and Scully doing their own investigation, and they're looking through this video footage of, the painting getting stolen in midair. And when asked about, the price of the painting and all that stuff, the man who is in charge of the art gallery said that he couldn't, sell it because it's priceless. Like, I couldn't, bring it, like, he couldn't sell it because it's just, looking at it, it's so priceless. I just had to keep it. And so to add this information, he said that the painting was donated to him by somebody. When asked, he looked through the archive and saw the name of the donor that gave away the painting, which is Kensei Okada. Which is Mulder's old partner, and you have Mulder being all like, oh my god, it's my old partner. He donated the painting? Oh my god. Dun dun dun. At the same time, you have painter Baku, who is doing his own investigation, right? And he gets the same information, except that the person that he was investigating, asking questions and all that, never mentioned Kensei's name at all. Only that, the painting was donated by this anonymous person. So Baku showed the man in the painting Taro, and the man was like, hell no, that's not the guy that will donate a painting. No way in hell. And then he starts his own story of how he met Taro and how he was super obsessed with this particular painting, that he was willing to pay any price for it. But of course, the dealer was like, no, I cannot buy it to you. I can't sell it to you because it's priceless. I can't do it. And, and that's how it is. So Baku returns to the spy room and calls Mulder on what he discovered. And then he assumes that Taro is the dreamer. Okay. And then after the phone call, Zero brought an excellent question, which is, if Taro is the art collector, why would he be worried about an actual secret in his dream? Right? Why would Taro be worried about it? And then Baku responds with, well, I will defeat the nightmare to protect Taro's dream. And then he goes to the capsule machine and gets two new capsules. The Barrier Capsium and the Wonder Capsium. And then we get the the purpose behind these colors. So Zero adds the importance of the colors, four categories, which of dream granting powers. Red is physical enhancements, blue is technology, green is will and mind, and purple is controls pinnacles of reality. And this is where Baku ends the scene with, "Hey Zero, speaking of capsiums and all that, I just got mine stolen. Okay, which capsium did this person stole? Oh, it's the recovery one." Because Baku tried to use the machine again in the hopes of getting another recovery capsium, but Zero was like, "You can't be too greedy." Like, no, it's just, no, you already have two. And Zero was alarmed by the news as to, okay, not only you have a missing capsium, but it was stolen. It's very important to know, okay, who stole it, and we have to get it back immediately. Then it gets cut off. There was no extended scene of Baku and Zero having this serious conversation. You see Baku coming out from the closet, and then he gets really spooked by his sister Minami, and she was like, "Wait a minute, you've been in the closet? Like, what is this?" And Baku's like, no, there's nothing to see here. Everything is cool. Everything is hunky-dory. I mean, Baku, my guy, you're gonna have to tell her eventually, because look what just happened here. Like, Minami was right there in front of your closet, and you just came out from the closet, and Minami is asking questions, and I don't know how long you're gonna keep this up, buddy. How long? And so, to make matters worse, Minami, leaves his room, and all of a sudden, you see Mulder and Scully breaking into Baku's room from the window. And Baku's like, "I can't believe it. It's one thing after another. Like, I skedaddled my sister, and now I had to deal with two agents breaking into my room in broad daylight." Again, Mulder, Scully, have you ever heard of a door? And so Mulder and Scully broke into Baku's room and gives Baku information on what he learned about, Kensei, and, Mulder gives Baku the documents of Kensei, and they broke out from Baku's room. So they came in, gave a couple of papers to Baku, and they came out from the window from whence they came. Oh, God. Oh, man. Guys, Christmas is coming. And, Yuya has this thing where he needs to kill off a character temporarily on Christmas. I have no idea what's his deal with Christmas, but we're counting down the days of which character is gonna die. Something tells me, like, for shocking value, just to add this before I continue on, part of me wants part of me wants Mem to temporarily die just to have some shock value. But at the same time, the road points to Mulder. But I don't know. Maybe Yuya will not kill a character on Christmas Day, and maybe just ease off of killing someone off on Christmas this year. But you never know with that, man. You never know. But just to add shock value, I strongly suggest, kill Nem temporarily. But is it going to happen? I don't think so. My gut feeling is it's Mulder. So they broke out, and Baku goes to sleep. So Baku returns to Dreamland and meets up with Nem, and they go on a ride with Zero, and they follow the cookie crumbs to the nightmare that stole all three paintings. And then you see Nox being there, and of course Nox is pissed off at Baku as to, hey, didn't I tell you if you continue on with this mission you're gonna get killed? What the hell? You don't listen, do you? You don't listen, do you? You see the nightmare, blowing dust on the paintings, causing 3 out of the 4 mines doors to open. And then, like I mentioned, a little bit earlier, Baku, crashes the party. He transforms into Zeztz, and we see Zeztz and the nightmare fighting. Then you have Nox, who's like, he's going to use this distraction to his advantage. So he tries to take all 3 paintings, but Nem gets in between, and Nox is telling her to get out of the way. He points his gun towards Nem. And then Baku uses his new barrier capsium. He transforms and comes in between Nox and Nem, because he shot Nem, but luckily Baku came in between and protected her. And then Baku creates a barrier for as a shield to protect Zero and Nem from monsters, Nox. So yeah, those 2 are safe, while Baku deals with the nightmare and Nox by himself. And then we get to the final scene. All 3 of them get outside, and this is where Baku says, Nox, now I understand why you're trying to stop me, because you're hiding the national secret in those paintings that you donated as Kensei. And then we have this shocking, well, not so shocking, not so shocking reveal, secret, whatever, that Nox says that name, that man no longer exists. My name is Nox, the agent who lives in the night and wanders through dreams. So, dun dun dun! So Nox is an agent too. I mean, there's no shock value. We all knew this. I'm like, okay. I'm not surprised. I mean, I would have been surprised if he would have said, I'm not an agent, I'm something else entirely. Maybe a dream, like demon dream. Like, you know how Freddy is with how he got his powers from these demon nightmare creatures, whatever. I could have gone with that, but it's more of, well, that man no longer exists. I am Nox, the agent that wanders through dreams, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. And that's how the episode ends, guys. Nothing new here. It's just, Baku is just telling Nox, hey, I know who you really are. You're Kensei, you're Mulder's old partner. And Nox like, no, that man no longer exists. I'm Darth Vader now. And Nox is very desperate in protecting this national secret. We don't know what it is, but if it's, this reveal, then that's kind of like a lousy secret, but it's not. And Taro is crazy, obsessed art collector, and we learn that Baku can also do his own investigation in the daylight. He doesn't need to sleep. And Minami almost stumbled across Baku's secret, and Mulder and Scully is still using the window to break into Baku's room, knowing how high it is. This is a building, this is not a house. Oh God, yeah. Mulder and Scully don't ever change, but it would be so funny if the cops, catches Mulder and Scully and arrested them for breaking and entering. That would have been so funny. Like, Yuya, there's still time. Please make it happen. please have the cops arrest Mulder and Scully temporarily for breaking and entering. And then Baku comes in like, no. It's okay. I gave him permission to break into my house. Come on, you do this for me, please. Please do this for me. But in any case, I mean, it's an okay episode and whatnot. And it's funny to see Baku in his fake mustache. Like, he should have been dressed up as Mario, in my opinion. But in any case, I want to add this too. Sorry to, do this video this late this week. I've been swamped with work, and it's very tiring. So, it's better late than never. In any case, thank you so much for listening. Did you watch the episode? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Did I miss anything? Even though I have my notes in front of me, I may have missed a couple of things. And yeah, give a like if you like it, and please subscribe because it really helps. And I'll see you all on the other side of Oblivion. Johnny!